Today we are going through our water system changes. This side is what we used to have. There was a third one of these. Spoiler alert, we lost 10 litres of water because this cap came off and we had water everywhere in the van. Absolute disaster. So we went for a trip to Bunnings and we picked up two 20-litre water tubs, and we found probably the best buy that we've had on this whole trip is an 8-litre kind of water-esque thing. This thing, we're going to talk more about it. Make sure that you watch the full video to find out why this is better than this. Let's get into it. All right, so we are Joseph. So if we survive the trip, we are headed to a Bunnings because we have had disaster struck. We have lost like 10 litres of water. I think it hit a rock or something. But that being said, we only have like 2.5 days of water now, which is not really enough to like warrant setting up like the awning and everything. So we want at least 5 days of water, ideally. So we're going to go to Bunnings and we're going to pick up a couple of tubs and we're going to revamp how our water system works inside our van. So make sure you come along and maybe you will learn something that will help you in your van or get you prepared for your own. Let's go. You're chill if I park this in the sun, right?
Oh yeah, whatever's the easiest for you to get in and out.
Was like these ones, right?
I'm just looking straight into that.
Yeah, but see, this thing here has a rubber grommet in it, so it shouldn't leak. Honestly, would be the best, because if we can sit them under like this. I just like the possibility of these ones being able to be under the bed.
Yeah, me too. Well, do you think that would go under the bed or no?
No. Like, I get you, I also like the wider mouth, but I think we just get a funnel. So we have determined our water setup, and I'm very excited to explain it to you in more depth when we are back at camp. So as we talked about, this whole thing is what we used to carry our water in, and this worked really well for us because these tap packs can be filled up nearly anywhere. You don't have to go to like a dedicated caravan water top-up spot to fill these up. You can fill them up at parks, taps, bubblers even. I don't know what you call them in the States, but those things where you turn to get water out for people, it's like, whatever, you know what I mean. And this was really good for us. We also somehow accumulated a ton of water bottles. I'm not quite sure why we accumulated a ton of water bottles, but we did. So we would also fill these up to give ourselves a little bit extra. So including the one that burst on us, we had 1, 2, 30 litres in these tap packs. And then let's assume each of these big bottles is a litre. So 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and change. Let's say 37 litres. And that does us fine for about 4-5 days, depending on how much soda or pop we drink. But as the weather is getting hotter and hotter, we found ourselves drinking more and more water, including showering more, pot bathing more, because we are hot, we are sweating. So once we had one of these tap packs burst, we decided it was definitely time to upgrade this whole setup. Because at the end of the day, we had this backpack, right? And do you know how weird it is to go to a public park if you're stealth camping and then pull out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 bottles and start filling up 9 bottles? Elise was doing it one time and then someone was just walking past and like, gee, you're thirsty? That's kind of embarrassing. And you can take it in your stride and all, but at the end of the day, someone said that comment to Elise, like a couple months back? And we're still thinking about it, you know what I mean? So having these bottles set up in this backpack also made it very cumbersome. It also took up a lot of awkward space. It was heavy. And honestly, it really just didn't work. So as you saw, we went to Bunnings, grabbed these 3 things and a table, but you saw the table in the last video. And what makes these things so good is, number one, these things aren't just going to spontaneously erupt. They are not going to get scratched. They can't pop, essentially, which was the problem we had with the tap packs. Great for when we started, but we really needed something that still allowed us to, I guess, fill up with water at parks and places where we didn't have access to a pressurized hose. And that's something that I feel like is a big advantage over our current and our previous, I guess, tap systems over, say, a caravan system. Because at the end of the day, I can fill up this water wherever I am, even if that town doesn't have a publicly accessible water source. And we're also carrying almost twice as much water as we were before, arguably in a more compact, safe way. 20 litres, 20 litres, and another 8 in this little water jug, which I cannot sing praises enough about this water jug. So we're carrying 58 litres, where before, what was it? 30 and change, maybe 40. So I guess not double, but adding another one of these is maybe something on our to-do list, and something that I definitely would be keen for, because laying down like this, these things are going to be able to sit in that back drawer once we make space. But it's so much easier than trying to find spaces for these tap packs and 1,500 bottles. And the real buy here, the real kicker, is this thing. This thing here is amazing. We bought 2 ice packs with this thing. I gotta be honest, it has kept it cool water in here. I'm not talking like fridge cold, but I'm talking like pleasantly cold. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to find fridge cold water kind of too cold to drink. It's not enjoyable for me to kind of drink that much water. But the water out of this, it's kind of chilled, that's my preferred water, chilled water, especially on these upcoming hot Australian summer days. This thing has 1 ice pack in it, and it's not a big ice pack. Let me show you. It has 1 ice pack, and it has kept it cold for 2 days straight. Just one of these things. That's it. It's like as big as my hand. Big as my head, maybe. A little bit smaller than my head. But it has kept this water cold for 2 days. So we are probably going to swap them out every 24 hours just to make sure we have something a little bit more consistent. And I'm just going to talk about this water tub for the rest of the video, I guess. Look at how big this mouth is. So what we essentially do is, let me show you. With having such a wide mouth means we can just tip this 20 litre one directly in. You know what I mean? And look, the 20 litres, look, it is heavy. I'm not going to lie. But it only gets lighter. I'm hurting my finger. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put like a little thing in there? Bad idea, I don't know. Probably, but it's fun.
I don't think that's right. Let's look at the other one. I don't think that's right.
It does. Yeah. Anyway, look, we're just going to try that again. And it might look awkward. And it's not the lightest thing I'm going to do in my day, but... It's so easy. And, listen, I joke about it, but it is arguably easy. Especially when you're comparing it to, like, I guess, this thing, which is arguably just as awkward. It's like a fish with its guts hanging out. And, like, to do this one, it looks like I'm peeing. Look, let me show you. Oh, well, it's just regurgitated itself. Anyway, so look, this is exactly the reason why we swapped away from these. This is it. Looks like a goon bag, and if you don't know what a goon bag is and you're in the States or whatever, it's wine in a bag. Hey guys, actually from the future here, I completely forgot to tell you how much all of this cost, so I'm gonna like edit it in after the fact, even though I have already filmed the outro. So the Marquee Navy 8-litre water cooler thingy was like $20, which felt expensive at the time, but in hindsight has been the cheapest, most effective $20 that I think I have spent in this van at that kind of price. Highly, highly recommend those little things. Easy to get water, keeps things cool for like at least 24 hours. Fantastic. The water jugs, I have my receipts. The water jugs, I'm pretty sure, I bought a ton of stuff from this Bunnings trips. So yeah, so the 20-litre water tubs were $25 each, and I feel like I probably could have got them cheaper ordering something online, but we were at Bunnings and we felt that that was an okay price. So we got two of those. That was $50 plus the $20 for the cooler, so we're up to 70, 50, 60, 70. And that was kind of it. However, I would like to also add in the price of the ice bricks that we got, because I think that that makes the water cooler its peak, you know what I mean? So those little bricks, they are the medium-sized bricks. They came in at just shy of $4. So $8. So we're talking like $78. And we have fully revamped and increased our water supply. Okay, back to the video. Water. At the end of the day, it's something that you're going to need in your van, in your caravan, in your bus, in your adventure truck, whatever you have. You're going to need it. And we were thinking about putting like 100 litres like under the bed, and I actually think I spoke about that in a previous video, or we were looking at putting like 100 litres like under the van. There's a little section there that should have fit like 100 litres under the van, but decided against it because of the tap issue. Most of the places where we fill up our water are not like caravan focused water spots. They are, as we talked about, they are parks, sports fields, my brother's house. And yes, I get that you can carry hoses and all of that other sort of stuff, but you guys know what I'm about. I'm about that DIY, no fuss, real van life. And let me put it to you, at the end of the day, every connection, every connection that I would put between like a water tub under the van or under the bed to wiring in a 12-volt tap is just a point of failure. Another point that I have to worry about failing, flooding the van, short-circuiting my batteries, hitting something, waterlogging something, and having this means that I don't have that fear. I'm carrying more water than I ever have before, in an easier way than I ever have before, colder than I ever have before. Have zero negative downsides to this. Okay, yeah, sure, it's heavier. 20 kilos is heavier than 10 kilos. Sure, I get it. But at the end of the day, I can fill this stuff up absolutely anywhere. And that's the benefit. I can be anywhere. I could fill it up at a tap in a toilet. You know what I mean? Like, that depends on... That Elise doesn't like that idea. But that's up to your morality and your hygienic standards. But I'm just saying that you could. You know what I'm saying? You could. I'm not saying it would be difficult. I'm saying that you could. That's all I'm saying, is that you could. You couldn't do that with a permanent system under your van. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough pressure in the hose. So the learn here is build the life that works for you. We've mentioned it in previous videos. I will link all of those in the description. But just reinforcing that just because something works well enough doesn't mean that you can't make it better. Doesn't mean that you're not allowed to spend money to make something easier for you. You're allowed to spend your money on fixing something that isn't necessarily broken, but could provide you with much more peace of mind, an easier time living. I don't know about you, but my van life is about slowing down. It's about having an easier life, doing things that I want to do, traveling, seeing people, honestly, having coffee in new places. Am I right? And so I think despite this being a simple, this is how I do my water video, it's a lot more philosophical in the sense that I've replaced something that had annoyances but wasn't broken. And it's okay to do that. I give you permission to fix or replace the thing that isn't broken but might annoy you. Go forth. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like what we do here and the reality of van life, please make sure that you like, subscribe so you don't miss on the next videos. I think our next one is going to be a bit of a grocery overhaul and how much we actually spend on food and the delicious calorie low, nutritional dense foods that we enjoy that aren't completely from a can. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We're going to go through our whole groceries and a couple of recipes that we have for our dinners. So make sure you enjoy that, and I will see you in that video sometime soon. Bye. Ooh, look at the videos. I looked at the time for this video, so it's going to be a bit more spot on now. Ooh. Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you're on mobile, you don't get these things, so this is just awkward, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching the videos, I guess. And Elise thanks you, and Nana thanks you. I don't know where Nana is. She's probably off somebody else's caravan eating food, probably. Jeez, she's a hungry dog. Okay, bye.